Welcome back to the Taamim course, video number 13. Hope you've been practicing. We're going to do additional practice as we always do. And we also have some new Taamim that we're going to learn. One of them, or two of them, better said, these two are going to be in our final paragraph of the Shema. Today we're going to finish the Shema. There's really a lot to get into, just like every single video that we do. So let's get right to it. Let's start with practicing. Shofar meupach kadma, how do you do that? Shofar meupach kadma. And then shofar olech zakef katon. How does that go? I'm pausing to give you a moment just to get it in your head. Shofar olech zakef katon. And the next one? Ravia. And then we have terekadmin and sheneged eshin are pretty much the same. Remember, sheneged eshin goes the other way. It's two gerishas, and terekadmin goes the way that it is here. How does that go? Terekadmin. And then we have darga and tevir. Darga, tevir. And then let's do all three. Tarha, ma'arich, sof, pasuk. How do those go? Tarha, ma'arich, sof, pasuk. Okay, next line number 3. Talsha azla gerish. Talsha azla gerish. And then you know that talsa and azla gerish are the same pretty much, but let's vary it just a little bit. Talsa azla gerish. See, just a little variation. Yeah, like I always say, you're going to make it your own. Next one, just that one, kadma. Kadma. And then tarha atnah. Tarha atnah. Okay, so we're coming up to the one that we learned last week, which is yetiv. Cute, sweet, fast. How does it go? Yetiv. Okay, and now we have here pasek. Pasek, the root word of pasek is lehafsik, comes from lehafsik, to stop. And a pasek gives you, it's another tam with pause. You know that there are certain taamim that have pause, like atnach, or stops. Sof pasuk is another one. Let's see what else. Nothing else that I see over here. Pasek, of course. Yetiv, kind of like a pause. Yetiv, a little bit of a pause. Yetiv, pasek, yetiv, it goes down. Pasek goes up. Pasek. Okay. Yetiv, pasek. That's pasek. Pasek means to stop. Pasek. Stop sign. Don't have a stop sign here. Okay, so we're going to review it a few times. This next one over here, zakef gadol, I mentioned it early on in maybe the first or second video. It's similar to this one, not in tone, but the way it looks. It just has a line on the left-hand side of those two dots. So there's zakef, this word, see they're the same. Zakef katon, which comes from katan, or small. And zakef gadol, the word gadol means big in Hebrew, if you didn't know that. Okay, so this one over here is zakef katon. And this one is similar to terekadmin or sheneged eshin. Zakef gadol, terekadmin, sheneged eshin. Okay, that's the long version is what I just did, which is zakef gadol. Zakef gadol. Okay, it can also be zakef gadol. You can shorten it if you want to. Zakef gadol. Zakef gadol. It's just more stretched out. The second word is more stretched out. Okay, I'm stretching out gadol because gadol is big, so we have to make it bigger than zakef katon. Okay, zakef katon, zakef gadol. If it's giving you a problem and you're not sure exactly how to stretch it out that way, just do zakef gadol. Zakef Gadol we don't have in the Kriyat Shema, but we do have this one, this next one that we're going to do. And I wanted to introduce them here. I wanted to introduce this one also, Zakef Gadol, here, because we're going to see it quite a bit in the Torah. And Zarka Segolta also. There's some Taamim which we will see very, very little of. They'll show themselves in just a few parashot, but the rest of these that we learn are very common, as you've already seen in the Shema. It's going to repeat itself. That's why we're going to be able to finish the Shema today, the third and last paragraph of the Kriyat Shema. Okay, and then I can do a video on the whole thing, without interruption, one paragraph after another, so that way you can have it flowing instead of interrupted by just by the Taamim and asking you to repeat. You can kind of say it with me. Okay, so let's go back to Yetiv before we get into the Zarka Segolta. This is Yetiv, and this Pasek. Okay, after me, Yetiv. The next one, Pasek. And the one after that, third one, Zakef Gadol. And if you can imitate or follow along with the longer one, let's try that. Zakef Gadol. If you have more time, obviously on Shabbat. If you want to shorten it, it's during the week, you can just do it, the short version. Zakef Gadol. Right? As long as it's something bigger than Zakef Katon, I guess we could say. Okay, next one. So this is similar because it's similar to this. And these two are kind of similar, except the Yetiv goes Yetiv and the Pasek goes Pasek, goes upward. So, but when we look at Zarka and Segolta, Zarka, we can do it long version, we can do it short version also. So let's get this out of the way. And it kind of follows, this looks like a 2, but on top of the Zarka, it's not a 2, it's supposed to be curvature. But I have to draw each one of these because this is a very unique course. So this is rounded and this part is rounded as well. So don't get confused if you don't see a number 2 on top of the Zarka. In the Torah, it's not a number 2, it's curved. Now I made it a little bit on the fancier side. Okay, so the Zarka, just listen. Zarka Segolta goes like this. Zarka Segolta. Okay, the shorter version. Listen to it again. Zarka Segolta. Now, if we're following the way that the ta'am looks and the way that the tone sounds, Zarka Segolta. This is short. Segolta is short. It's easy. I don't know. Easy is relative, right? Again, Zarka Segolta. Oh, that's a nice Zarka. And of course, we have Sof Pasuk, which goes Sof Pasuk. This last line over here. Yetiv, after me. Yetiv, Pasek, Zakef Gadol. Zakef Gadol. I have to practice that one. The next one, Zarka and Segolta. They do come separately sometimes. Just as Zarka will come separately. Sometimes it'll be Zarka. It'll be times 2. Without the Segolta. But rarely, or I don't remember seeing Segolta all by itself. Okay, so they usually come together, or they come separate and it's just Zarka. Let's do Zarka. Zarka Segolta. Again, Zarka Segolta. And of course, Sof Pasuk. Beautiful. Doing amazing. Let's switch over to the Shema. Now, most of these ta'amim we already know. The only thing that's new for us is the Zarka Segolta, which we're going to see over here, Lachem Letzitzit. Everything else we've already done. Okay, so you have all of the ta'amim that are here in this section. It's going to be a lot of reviews, so I'm going to call out some of the ta'amim, maybe not all of them. but some of them follow along with me. Repeat after me if you'd like, and even get ahead of me. That way you know that you know it. Okay, starting from the beginning. Ma'arich taracha, ma'arich sof pasuk. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. How does that go? Terekad min daber. Shofar mehupach kadma. Over here, shofar mehupach kadma. Sorry about my screen. El bene connected. El bene Yisrael. Shofar olech zakev katon. Ve'amarta. Aleph has a line on it, right? So we're supposed to accentuate that. Ve'amarta alehem. Ve'amarta alehem. Kadma ve'asu. Ma'arich tevir. And let's go further. Ma'arich terha atnach. Again. Ma'arich tevir. Ma'arich terha atnach. Lahem tzitzit. Al kanfe vigdehem. Ledorotam. Ledorotam. Okay? Got an accent there. Don't miss that accent. Don't miss those accent marks. Very important. All right, so let's go again from ve'asu. Ve'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfe vigdehem ledorotam. You do it. And this is tevir without the darga. Remember, they come separately sometimes. Ve'natenu. And then you have ma'arich tarha. Ma'arich sof pasuk. And then you have these words connected. Al tzitzit hakanaf. Petil techelet. And we have our zarka, which we just learned. So, the zarka is zarka segolta. And you have shofar olech here as well. Shofar olech zarka segolta. Vehaya lachem letzitzit. After me. Vehaya lachem letzitzit. And continuing from Uri'item, you have Shofar Olech Raviyam. Uri'item Oto. Uri'item. Not Ureitem. Uri'item. A little bit of a pause there, just to make sure that we enunciate the word correctly. And Kadma. Uzchartem. Uzchartem. Be careful with that. Uz. Ch. Zch. Uzchartem. You may need to pause if it's a little bit easier. Uzchartem. Et kol mitzvot Adonai. Et kol mitzvot, all connected together. Et kol mitzvot. Why? A line here and a line here. Okay? Et kol mitzvot Adonai. Et kol mitzvot Adonai. Zakev katon. Tarha atnach va'asitem. Otam. And here you have, this is a Gerish. Velotaturu. Velotaturu. Shofar meupach kadma. Achare levavchem. Achare levavchem. Shofar olech zakev katon. Ve'achare einechem. Ma'arich tercha sof pasuk. Asher atem goes connected. Asher atem zonim. Acharehem. Acharehem. Right? Okay, shofar olech zakev katon. Lema'an tizkeru. Z. Make sure you pronounce the Z, the Zayin. Lema'an tizkeru. Tarha atnach va'asitem. All connected. Et kol mitzvotai. Et kol mitzvotai. Okay, that's the atnach. The atnach is falling on the taf of mitzvotai, but all of these words are connected. Et kol mitzvotai. Go back here. Va'asitem. Et kol mitzvotai. Now this word is tricky. Ma'arich terha sof pasuk. Vihitem. 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 there's no e sound over here because it's the sheva is silent. So it's vi, because you have an accent mark here, item, and you have an accent mark here, vitem. Vitem kedoshim lelohechem. How does that go? Ani. And a lot of chazanim like to stretch out that last ani as the last kind of like, okay, I'm getting to the end of the Shema, and it's, a beautiful part. And then also, the ani is, we're talking about God, right? God is saying, I am God, you're God, that took you out of Egypt. But very important pasuk at the end, because it reminds us of Yetziat Mitzrayim as well, that I took you out of Egypt. So, ani, you don't have to do that, but you know that it exists. Again, ani, or better yet, ani. Then you have shofar olech raviyam. Adonai Elohechem kadma asher shofar meopach kadma hotzeti etchem mem. Let's make a division. Etchem me'eret Mitzrayim liot lachem. Liot. Not liheyot, liot. It's almost as if your hey is silent. Whoops. So, liot lachem, ma'arich tarcha, le'elohim atnach, ani, Adonai Elohechem. Okay, something you have not heard before and something we have not discussed before. At the end of the reading of the Torah, we typically change the tone, everybody does, in order to let the kahal know the aliyah is over. So here we have to do it in the Shema because this is Torah, but we're not reading from the Torah itself right now. We're reading the Kriyat Shema, which of course comes from the Torah. But what we do is the tonality changes on the tarha. See, the tarha is here. When we're ending an aliyah, when we're ending what we're reading for the person that has come up to the Torah, or when somebody reads for themselves. So it's a little bit different. So the regular version, let's say, a regular voeg would be from liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem, right? That isn't as effective in letting the kahal know than to change the tone, which is liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. So it falls on the tarha, that change of tone, ani, and then this is a little rushed, Adonai Elohechem. It's almost like, okay, we're finished. Ani, Adonai Elohechem. We're going to get into it more in other videos, but I want you to know that it exists, and you may have heard it from Chazanim in the past, when in synagogue, when they're saying the end of the Kriyat Shema. But a lot of times, since people say over here, they say emet, then it may not be as noticeable. Ani Adonai Elohechem, and then people say emet, right? So it may not be as noticeable. But Ani Adonai Elohechem, we want to let the kahal know the aliyah is now over. Thank you for joining me, and there will be, of course, an accompanying video for this video in which we go more smoothly on the Kriyat Shema itself and the Taamim that we've learned, the new ones, practice. This is the end of the Kriyat Shema. This is a great accomplishment, I'm telling you, with the Taamim. So if you know up to here, fantastic. If you don't know all the Taamim, don't worry about it. Continue to practice. Go back on some of the videos and review them, and you will get it. It's just a matter of doing it over and over again so that it goes inside your brain. Okay, you're programming yourself in order to learn all of these ta'amim, and they're not difficult. Once you begin to learn some of them, you start getting more or less how the tonality goes. Okay, amazing. All right, great learning with you, and we're going to move on to the next video, which is the accompanying video number 14.